Southern to me by me being from up north.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Sorry for the little bit of delay. You know how today be. We still aren't finished with the studio in the backdrop, but we got a little candle action back here. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm dripping, dripping, dripping to you. But I had to reach out. This is a brother that's super busy. He running all over the place. He on the internets. He be at the parties. He be flying. I said, hey man, can we do an interview? It was like 2 years later. I done got him. So he got as busy as Henry. I'm like, I'm just gonna fly to Arkansas. You're gonna drive me around. Henry, like, I guess if you get here. So none other than make sure you drop that city and state inside the chat, y'all. Mr. Andre Hayes. Introduce yourself to the audience and tell them where they can find you on this man's internet.
What's up, y'all? My name is Andre Haynes. Like Erica said, I'm a real estate investor, entrepreneur, content creator, author. I'm from the South Side of Chicago. I'm really just trying to make my way in this whole internet space. I don't come from a whole lot of financial literacy and money, so I had to really like grow into it and really learn it. And when I started to, the first thing that I started to do was give back and pour back into my people that are, from communities like I'm from and who are, like me and who, had the potential and, the ability and the know-how. They just didn't have the proper information. So I wanted to share that information with them. And man, here I am, like I said, making my wave on the internet, like you say, traveling around, doing speaking events, a ton of podcasts, parties, the whole nine. Like me and Eric gonna bump into each other in a few places.
I'm telling you, circles and circles. Here's the thing. I like your story because, I know people don't understand this, but there's some freedom in watching people who focus really hard for 2, 3 years and then boom, got over a hump. And this is their lifestyle, right? It's just your lifestyle that you up walking them dogs in the middle of the day. It's just your lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah,
When I see you on Instagram, it's just your lifestyle, right?
yeah.
And I think when people think, "Oh, y'all are here lifestyle marketing," I'm like, "No, we're just showing you our lives."
I live like this.
Yeah, right. What's that Tiffany Haddish? This what it looked like. This what money looked like. This what it looked like. Which she gonna be a meme next week. They had to give Will his meme
Yeah.
week. Part of what some of the stuff we hear about Chicago, and again, everybody disclaimer: I have a couple family members left in Chicago, a couple investments left in Chicago, but overall, Chicago. When I go to Atlanta, I'm in Houston. I meet people who left Chicago. They're like, "Oh man, just they can't get a job and things are bad," and they hear 50% black male unemployment, and they hear all these things. What are some good things about Chicago's real estate market and things about Chicago that make you stay?
The fact that we have so many multi-units, like I can take you on like blocks and blocks and
Mhm.
blocks where they're just like all multi-units, like no
Mhm.
single family homes. And multi-units give you the option to like generate cash flow, and cash flow
Mhm.
creates freedom, and that's like for me, that's been the main thing. In addition to that, like I'm from here, like I'm
Mhm.
here, like this city has pretty much nurtured me and raised me from like the culture of the city to the food to the like the style of dress.
Mhm.
90% of my shoes are Jordans. Like I come from the being the era where we won 6 championships and we were the biggest and the baddest. Like just and that like that pride and that like blue collar like mentality of the city is what like keeps me grounded and keeps me wanting to stay here because I've traveled around to a lot of different places. I've been a lot of places, but I've never really wanted to like uproot from the crib. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's never been like a goal of mine. Like so, I think that like just Chicago has a very very strong hold on me simply
Mhm.
because I simply because like I said, it raised me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? A parent. Like it just ain't easy to just walk away from your parent and leave your parent.
Right, right, right. So I will say, you guys, Chicago's architecture is up there top. When they talk about the Tri Cities, I think they're talk. We are talking about Minnesota and all this place, but really, what's the second kind of New York? It would be Chicago. Now, of course, people always say L.A., and I'm like, no, technically,
So
it was Chicago. And I know
like
people get mad with that, but if you actually go to Chicago, huh?
past 2 months, I've been to LA and New York, and LA's downtown is just like meh. You know what I mean? It's not like anything.
Mid.
Yeah, it's not even like he had a couple tall buildings, and they're not even really that tall. And when I went to New York, I can't even compare it to Chicago because it's just different. Like their bridges, like the style, their structure, just and they're
Mhm,
just so big. Like they're huge. I thought Chicago was big. No, New York is huge. Like just
mhm,
I've never seen so many big giant project buildings in my life. Like those are the biggest project buildings I've ever seen.
mhm.
That we had here, they tore them down a long time ago. But
Right.
to be like that, but I've never seen as many as New York has.
Man, it's and the big thing too is as much as people complain, New York, New Jersey, Chicago is quite diverse. When I'm there, I've just seen a little bit of everybody, and you guys have a lot of immigrants. You guys get a lot of the flack for the violence, but no one ever mentions the cartels except for the police, and
Yeah,
the poor police don't get no help.
we probably like one of the most segregated cities in the country. Like our and it's like and it's bold and it's out there. Like we have certain sections of the city, Chinatown, Jewtown, Greek Town, Ukrainian Village. Like, why is it okay to name these particular parts of the city this? And like this is like public record. Like this is known. Like they put this in the newspapers, like Ukrainian Village, Greek Town. Like, why is
Yeah.
this? Like that's really like
Same,
you
same
know,
as when I go to Detroit and it's like, this is Greek town. They ran the Irish out. This is da da da. This is Mexican town. They literally have a place called Mexican town.
like
And then they have,
in the
yeah,
neighborhood.
the actual neighborhood. And then they have one called Cork Town. Basically, it was making fun of the Irish, calling them drunks. Cork Town, like cork you put in your drink. It's pretty wild. And so it's like, yeah, Little Italy. Yeah, John. You know what I mean? There's somebody in the comments saying home is home. That's right. And so I like your perspective. I like showing that people can make it, from Chicago, be from the Chicago, and not necessarily have to be super over the top flashy. Just enjoying your life, and so I've enjoyed that. Um,
Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to keep it as honest and as transparent as possible most times. I do have a good life. It's not like the lifestyles that you see a lot of people portray on the internet, but I have
mhm,
freedom though. And I think that's what a lot of people like skip over as the most valuable thing, the actual
yeah,
freedom to be able to do what I want, not to be able to have a Lamborghini or go shop in a Louis Vuitton store and all of that stuff. Like that's cool or whatever if I want to do it, but that's never really been my style. So for me to be able to have my freedom, be able to put my money in my properties, be able to invest in the stock market, be able to like start my businesses, build my brand, invest in things like that. Like those are the things that make me happy. And being
mhm,
able to have the time freedom to operate those things and move like how I'm moving, that's what brings me peace. And for me, like that's what it's all about. Peace. Like I don't care about the money part of this shit. As long as I'm happy and I'm at peace, like the money is just like secondary. It's like, oh, I can have all of this without necessarily having $1 billion. Like, oh shit, why am I working so hard to get $1 billion then? Like, if I can be cool and
uh-huh.
like, you know what I mean? All I need
Listen,
to figure out what your number is. Like, once I figured out what my number was, I was like, all right, cool, I'm straight. Like, I don't gotta work so hard no more. Why am I chasing $1 billion when I don't need that?
but there's so many people when I say I'm gonna be a billionaire, I'm gonna be a billionaire. I'm like, you don't even understand the levels. Once you get to 250,000, 350,000, 400,000, you realize you can go, you can vacation whenever. And that's what kind of cracks me up with these people, this obsession with cars. Cause I'm like, the true business people I see, they be on flights. They
Yeah,
be catching flights in the middle of the week, doing whatever. You know what I mean? That's the true business person. That's the true freedom. Um, I ain't gonna lie, I got my own, car fetishes for different things, but like the real thing is like the travel.
yeah.
And so I was doing like 40 flights, 30 flights, 2020 and 2021. People are like, are you scared? The pandemic? Are you? I'm like, no, if nothing else, what this has shown me is I want to spend as much quality time with my family when I so choose. There was a year I stayed out here in Texas. I didn't go home at all, North Carolina at all. And I was like, why am I doing that? Like just to be working hard, working all these jobs and doing all this stuff. Nah, about that. Like the true freedom is being able to pick up, catch a flight, do whatever. And even now, when I look at my grandparents were both in the military. And when it was the woman's army and the man's army, they met in Japan, married, stayed there for 7 years. How many older black folks do you know were able to travel like that?
Yeah.
It really took a military for a lot of folks.
Yeah,
But
really. That was the main way you were hearing people were traveling, like through the military or like somebody worked for the airline.
hmm so in Chicago, you've been pretty vocal on NACA program. So many times people are like, Ericka, y'all always trying to force this real estate issue. And I said, you know why? If you look in our community, 60% of black people are renters. And
And
then
that
every day you turn on the news, they crying about how they being treated via somebody else's property.
and that's what causes the wealth gap, our lack of owning real estate. Like that's what it is. That and it's nothing else. Like the fact that we don't own any real estate, that's what's causing a giant spread. You know what I mean? A lot of it, of course, is not our fault because you had Redline and then
Mhm.
you know what I mean, the shit that's going on with Wells Fargo, different just, you know what I mean, racist practices and stuff like that
Mhm.
allow us to purchase and you know what I mean, qualify for property. But at the same time, though, we also have to, you know what I mean, be more educated and be more mindful of the decisions that we're making so that we can qualify and buy up the hood while it's still cheap before these hoods that are right next to these beautiful downtowns start gentrifying. So now if you own something, you can hold it for however long you want to. At some point, you can decide to, you know what, I'll sell it and I'll move because I got such a good premium on it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take out some equity in this thing. I'm gonna fix it up, and we're gonna stay in this neighborhood because it's ours and we own it. And when you own it, you have that option. But when you're renting and they come in and they're like, "Yo, you got to move because we're about to tear this house down," it's nothing that you can do because
Yeah.
your name ain't in the deed, your name ain't in the mortgage. You're paying a, you know what I mean, a lease essentially.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, like I think if people understood the power of real estate and how much leverage it gives you to whereas you can borrow against your home to put your kids in school and just like all of these different options that you have that we just don't really understand. And it's the same thing with credit. Like we so taught to be scared of like these things that'll like really make us wealthy. You know what I mean? And I think it's starting to change because you have
Mhm.
people like, you know what I mean, myself, you know what I mean, big like Earn Your Leisures, BWRs, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
Andre Hatches, Tim Jacksons, you know what I mean, all of
Yeah.
all of us out here really trying to like spread the word about just like finances and just like freedom and
Mhm.
like, mindset. And but outside of that, it's gonna be a struggle because most of our people just have this mindset of just like, you know what I mean, just like
Renting and moving and
yeah,
complaining. Well, and I always tell people like, Erica, redlining, racism. I said, yes, all these things are true. But if I ask you in the last 5 years, have you been pre-approved for a mortgage? See? But I'm the villain. See, he laughing because he know it's true.
yeah, you're absolutely
Because
right.
if I go, hey man, when's the last time you pre-approved?
Mm.
Like, huh? Elisa Phillips used to get all this slack in bigger pockets because, and this is about 12 years. This is like right after we got out of the recession. She was buying homes for $30,000 in Indiana, in the Midwest, and people couldn't believe it. They're like, it must be war zones, and be like, nah, I'm in Indiana. It's just cheap.
Yeah, it's just that's how
And
it is. That's the
and
market.
and so people couldn't believe her, and so she was just seriously like, y'all know, look, I save up 10K. You got this. And so the other day, I had a client talking about they were buying a car and they had to put 10K down because they credit. I said, man, 10K? You could have bought a property somewhere,
The down
And so, huh?
So that's a down payment on a house.
Yeah, I keep trying to tell people, I'm like, it's really the focus. We got the money. It's just the focus part. Or because we're starting so late in life, in our careers and different things like that, we don't want the starter house. We want to go ahead straight to the next house because we already 32, 33, 34, and 35. And I'm like, every time I hear about a client had a problem and their parents sold their starter home or their second rental so they could pay this for this problem, that's why people have options.
Yep.
So um, the NACA program, you've been doing a really good job on it. But what crazy is, I was telling people a couple years ago, I went to a homeowner down payment assistance program in Austin, Texas, and this is before Austin got crazy. They were like, this when I first got here, I was, I'm gonna go, and so they were gonna give you 15K down, and the program was originally, most of these cities and states, the Section 8 program is why the homeowner down payment assistance program was created. So the person from Section 8 came, they took the class. It was like 2 Wednesdays, so that's a lot for some people to miss work twice or miss something on Wednesday twice.
Yeah.
They could get this money. Now, here's the kicker. If you made 12 on time payments of your mortgage, they shredded the loan. You didn't have to pay it back in Austin, Texas. And guess who was inside the class? No. If you did 12 on time payments with your mortgage, the government gifted it. They turned it into a gift
I'm saying like forever, like the next
forever,
10 years and for life is yours. You get
forever.
a
It was
year.
yours. Yeah. And so I go to class and I'm thinking it's gonna be full of black people because they done told me it's a informational for the health department and the what section 8 and all this stuff. Man, they had Asians in there, they had immigrants in there, barely speaking English, they had white dudes, fraternity dudes from college. Everybody was in there sitting there. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And she said it's like that every year. We put the information out, we go to all the projects, we knock on all the doors, we explain to them. It's down payment assistance program. It was for Austin, Texas. Now they also have a combination of the program. They have a loan where they'll put down like 20K, 30K, 40K. Then you got to pay that off. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay that one off over time. But that 15K, they were like, boom. And this isn't just Austin, Texas, you guys. Please go type into your computer on your city and state after our show, of course. Homeowners down payment assistance is in every city and every like your tax dollars are all over the world active, very active. But a lot of times people don't know about these things. And then you start talking about NACA program, and people are like, "Hey, Eric, you ever heard of that program? Do you know what he's talking about?" I'm like, "Yes, I know what he's talking about." What made you? How many rentals did you acquire, or let's just say, how'd you got into the process that get you where you are today? Because I don't think people know how many house properties you have now.
So the first one was a 4-unit property that I got
Hmm.
through the program. And then the second one was another 4-unit, but that one was like it was a unique style 4-unit because it's a 3-unit building in the front of the lot, and there's
Hmm.
really like big nice house in the back of the lot.
Oh.
And so it's essentially 2 properties on one lot, but that house is considered the 4th unit. So
Hmm.
I'm able to buy it as essentially one property through the NACA program as well. So I've essentially gotten 8 doors through the NACA program on the first one. The interest rate is 2.5%. On the
Hmm.
second one, it's 0.8%.
Hmm.
And I was able to buy both of those interest rates down from like 3.5% each.
Right. So you did you live in the house or you live in one of the units?
Yeah, I live in a house right now.
You're like, peace out, y'all. Y'all can have those in the front.
Yeah.
So when you did that, what did your friends and family say? They're like, whoa, like
I mean, a lot of times, like people act like they don't see what you got going on. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
how your little business doing?
like, like so, it just be like, whatever. Like I put it out there. I tell
Mhm.
my family, yeah, I share the information with the world. You see how I am on the internet. I'm the same way on Facebook. I'm the same way with my friends and family. Um, but you just start to recognize that people just aren't they just ain't about this life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're just this shit ain't in everybody. It ain't for
It's not.
everybody. And
It's not.
you can't force it on people because what you'll do is you'll start to ruin relationships that way.
Hmm.
You'll start to offend people. You'll start to come off as if you're better than people. You know what I mean? You don't want to give that kind of energy. What you can do is, what I mean, share the information, tell people what you got going on, show them your results so that they know it's real. And after that, it's just on them to, what I mean, take action and do whatever it is that they want to do. And if they decide not to, what I mean, you presented the opportunity. Outside of that, man, don't try to force yourself on nobody. Because like I said, it'll ruin your relationships, especially like with your friends and your family.
What I've learned over the years is the a lot of folks are they're talkers. They're big talkers, right? Like trying to say it in a nice way, but a lot of these folks are just big talkers, right? Oh man, when I get this money, we're gonna do this. I mean, I have a couple friends that will send me every week pictures for vacations, for trips, and I'd be like, I ain't been able to talk to y'all about no kind of money stuff, but y'all made sure we found a $5,000 all inclusive trip. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
People will always find money for stuff that they want, but never
mhm,
for the things they need. You know what I mean? It's crazy how that works. I mean, I get it because I used to be that way, but after a while,
mhm.
it's just like, when you get tired of living this way, because when shit hit the fan, you always the one that's struggling, need to borrow some money, you gotta, you know what I mean, ask for a ride, or, what I mean, just the needy motherfucker. So, you know what I mean?
Did you see the picture I put up? That I thought this was funny because John asked me to put up a picture, but this is keep my husband's name out your mouth. I'll show y'all the picture I put up, but I mean this when I talk about a lot of times it's going to be strangers that believe in your process. more than your family and friends, and you just keep going. You keep going and you keep doing.
Definitely got to keep going.
Okay, so entrepreneurs, yeah, there's a lot of those folks. I mean, the biggest thing I've learned over, man, I think 7 years I've been doing 150 different conferences, masterminds, is like get in where you fit in. Like I had a young man tell me about him building houses in Tampa. I was like, oh, yo, let's do this. Let's work together. He's like, for real. He thought like, here you go talking this crazy. I'm like, nah, seriously, how about a landlord? Let's get moving. And a lot of times it's just people have to see themselves that way.
Yeah.
The vision is a big part of like, I know y'all get tired of me going woo woo on you, but I be talking about the abundance vortex and vision and how you have to see yourself, because I think unfortunately a lot of young men, where you already popped up, a lot of young men don't see themselves as homeowners. They don't see themselves as investors.
Mm.
And that's part of why I brought you on the show, because I was like, he's out here enjoying his life, you know. Look at you getting the bigger pockets, train money,
Man,
right?
yeah.
And so I want people to understand that like it's possible to get a property no money down.
Look at the headline though: from struggling renter to cash flowing landlord using zero down loans.
Hmm.
And
Love it.
that's a real life headline. Like I was really a struggling renter, had eviction notices on my door, all kind of crazy shit.
So part of you getting through the program, did you feel like it was long? Did you feel like it was a tough process?
Um, I felt like all of that when I was going through it, but when I finished, I was just like, man, what it was worth it. Cause like what you gotta understand is most people typically any other program when they buy their first property, 3.5% down, 10% down, 20% down,
Hmm.
they putting down what they got, like, and that be what they got. You know what I mean? So most times people are, and they won't say this because of pride, and they not showing this because it don't look good on the internet, and they not telling nobody this. Most times people are moving into a brand new house with like a mattress on the floor,
Yeah.
like a couch maybe, like you know what I'm saying. It's not like luxurious and laid out and TVs all on the wall, and you know just how you would imagine that your new home would be. Most times people are moving in with nothing there, house rich whole time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
NACA allowed me to move in with no money down. I had a 4 unit, so I had renters. I lived for free. At the end of the month, I closed on my property, so I got to keep all of my money because I had no money down. I got a seller's concession where I walked
Hmm.
away with $5,000. Like I said, at the end of the month, so all three of the tenants paid their rent to me, and I didn't have a mortgage because the first when you close on a property that first month, you don't have a mortgage because it's paid by the seller typically.
Hmm.
I was able to keep all of that money, which allowed me to invest in the stock market, fill my apartment up the way that I want.
Hmm.
Say lavishly, nice furniture, TVs on the wall. Man, yeah, I went and bought a Jag, like you know, I,
not a
I
not
treated
a
myself like
not a jag.
bought a Jag. So it just you know what I mean. It really allowed me to just like come into my situation more well off than the average person who's buying their first home. You know what I mean? Of course, it was a very strenuous process, but
Mhm.
when you realize you walking away with all of this bread in your pocket and the stress was worth it, it was just like, all right, cool, I get it now. You know?
Right. People don't understand. Like when people are like, oh, I gotta put 20% down. I'd be like, look, baby, you already know that ain't the truth no more. That means whatever somebody says, oh, 20% down. I'm like, you're not researching anything. You're not googling anything. You're not really serious about real estate.
Yes.
But
If it's your first time, like you know, somebody like me, I didn't tapped out with first time home buyers loans and all
yep.
that kind of stuff. Like so, me, I would have to go put 20% down on whatever my next one is.
Or
But
you wait 3 years. But yeah.
yeah, and but with NACA, I can't do that though. You know what I mean? I don't have
Ah.
to sell or refinance out of NACA.
Hmm.
I like a FHA loan. That's the thing. Like NACA is a lifelong loan, or either you
Right.
give it or sell it.
Well, if you do 3 years from now, then you could be a new time home buyer. You would just be in a different program.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, John, well, congrats. Y'all bought the course. Thank you. That's so nice of Andy's good people. We'll see him in Tampa here soon. Yeah, that's the best freedom. People in the comments got some good stuff up here. That's the best freedom. So when it comes to, I think somebody asked, is it under HUD?
No,
Uh,
it's NACA and it's a conventional loan too. Go to their website, NACA.com.
mhm.
You'll be able to find all of the information there. And I also I teach a course on it too. You know what I mean? Just like my particular strategy, how I took advantage of the program and how I use the program. Because a lot of people, what they do is they use these first time home buyers loans with the 3%
Mhm.
down, no money down, and they go get a house. Like, nah, man, the formula is take advantage of those to go get you a multi-unit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That way you have a property that's generating some cash flow for you on top of it's giving you a free place to live, for a little while.
Well, aren't you also? Did you also invested in some PeerSpace, right?
Yeah, so PeerSpace is not even really an investment. What PeerSpace is essentially me.
Platform.
Yeah, yeah. I just pretty much put my house on PeerSpace and let people
Mhm.
shoot videos, photos, and movies at my house, and I get paid for it. So that's pretty cool. And I get to link up with some like-minded creatives and some pretty dope people on PeerSpace too. I'm a content creator as well,
Mhm.
so it allows me like to meet new cameramen, learn new tricks, just like even give insight into help other people. So it's really cool. On top of, like I say, the cash, which is like really really cool. It's just money for me, just letting people come to my house, and to me, it's more convenient for me than Airbnb because I don't have to leave. I can stay here, and they don't have to stay the night. None of that. So it's just like a real cool.
In and out, 4 hours plus.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I looked up PeerSpace for an event I'm trying to throw in Chicago real quick later this summer, but we'll see.
and
I like it.
I'm what I'm doing right now. I'm working on a course for PeerSpace because I think it's a really cool way for a lot of people to make money because you don't have to own your crib in order to
Mhm.
use it for PeerSpace. And if you got a dope spot, or you renting a dope apartment, or you think you can decorate a dope room in your place, man, you could generate you some extra cash even if it's just 100, 200 bucks a month. It's helping you knock some of those bills down, knock your rent down.
Listen, I'm telling you, there's so many people. When I see these houses go on Airbnb, oh, no parties here. I'm like, honey, the only reason I'm renting this house is for the party. So you might as well get up out my face with that. Because by the time you get over here, get the freaking already got it popping. Okay, so so my thing is, people be on Airbnb like, oh, here you go, a great place to stay. I'm like, if you really want to make money, make it a 4 hour place where it can be an event space. Because a lot of people are, they don't want to rent in their own town on Airbnb because they're scared of people having parties. I'm like, won't you just take advantage of that traffic and make it an event space? Some stuff is in me like, let's not make it hard. Let's make it make sense.
Yeah, most times people be scared of their stuff getting damaged. And when I first started doing PeerSpace, I was the same way because I got
Mhm.
rappers and shit coming to my house. They making like hard ass thug ass music and shit. So it's
Mhm.
like they jumping up and down and acting crazy. So I kind of had to like get comfortable with that. But at the end of the day, like I've had all good experiences, man. These ain't nothing but young black boys expressing
Mhm.
themselves in music and trying to like get on the same way I was trying to get on when I was rapping shit 15, 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So at the end
Mhm.
of the day, I had to kind of like remove that judgmental ass, like, what I mean? Like that shit that we do. Like, you know what I mean? When we
Mhm.
get to a particular space and we see somebody that's different from us, like, no, this you used to be this dude. Like, so at the end of the day, embrace them. You know what I mean? Don't like really shun them away or look at them no type of way because all they really trying to do is find their way. And
Yeah.
once I started looking at it like that, I actually started seeing it as an opportunity for me to get these young boys free game. Like, y'all coming over here, y'all got $50,000 cash flashing money in y'all videos and all that. Like, man, you know what the stock market is? Like, I own this house and this building in the front, right? Like, y'all can
Mhm.
thing, and you can use that $50,000 to leverage it into $1 million property that's like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, talking to
Yeah.
like, bro, like you walking around with 50 grand in your pocket. Like, do you know how you can leverage that $50,000 into something way bigger and way better than just 50 grand cash? Because at the end of the day, if you take those pants off and go to sleep and the house catch on fire or anything, like it's a
Yeah.
like you
It's a wrap.
like, you know what I'm saying? So like you
Who
really got,
believes you that you had 50K cash?
even if they do believe you, who fuck finna replace your money because you did some stupid shit.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Y'all, so what are some good things you see coming out of Chicago? What are some, good opportunities? Are you seeing properties that you feel like there's more opportunity for people to invest in Chicago right now or no?
Um, right now the market just slim everywhere. Like there's
Mhm.
very, very little inventory. I'm looking for, ran down vacant properties right now. Some of the
Mhm.
prices on these things, you like, what? Like, you know what I mean? They asking money for these things like they like, renovated homes.
Uh-huh.
So it's very, very hard right now. In every market, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There are deals out here. You can find deals. And in Chicago, there are a ton of multi-units. So, like I said, what you can find here is cash flowing deals. But you just, like I say, you got to really hustle in this market though, and like find and buy at the right price, because right now sometimes the numbers that these people are asking just don't make no sense, especially with the rent roll that they show you. Because it's like,
Right. It'd be
why
like, no, thank you. What is that?
how bad is in the rents only generating 1,500, but the mortgage gonna be 3,500. Like, you crazy as hell. Like,
It's like, who you think I'm gonna put out and put in here?
uh,
Y'all do have, I mean, listen, y'all got classic inventory. Very beautiful. I was driving by this one part and I was like, this is just amazing. You know what I mean? Like for city living. Tell us about the book you just dropped. Getting your shit together.
yeah, Renaissance is 5-step guide on getting your shit together. It's just kind of like my blueprint that I used to, get my life in order, like an outline of
Mm-hmm.
steps that I took, and things that I did to fix my life when I felt like my life was in the dumps. It's a real quick read. I interviewed some of my friends. I got some really, really cool friends. Like one of my homies, he went on from our neighborhood to produce over like 30 million records. He's done like big records. What did he do? I think he did Ass for Nicki Minaj. He did Birthday Cake for Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
Um, no, Anaconda for Nicki Minaj and Ass for Big Sean. He did records with Justin Bieber. Like I say, over 30 million records. So I got a buddy who started his own sneaker business in high school and is flourishing to this day. You know what I mean? Has bought him a home. Don't work no more. All from an online sneaker business that he started. A big sister of mine, a mentor of mine, Rita Lee. She is just out here doing her thing, operating in space, doing stuff with Dame Dash, DJ Khaled, just like everybody, just like really operated at a high level. I got an interview with her in the book, and
Mm-hmm.
really like just wanted to give people something quick but something solid to read, because me personally, I've read all of those 400 or 500 page books and all that shit. Sometimes that shit just could be a real drag and it'll make me want to stop reading. So I just
Mm-hmm.
want people something that was really quick and straight to the point, and also very valuable at the same time. And I think I was able to do that with the book. And honestly, what the book is, it's a written, more professional version of the um the show that I have on my YouTube channel, The Renaissance Report.
Mm-hmm.
The Renaissance Report has a lot of skits and just like a lot of like swearing and me acting silly or whatever. But with the book, it's just more professionally written, and you know what I mean, just more on point as far as like a reader's perspective, more of an adult version.
And you guys can find this on his Instagram. Well, dang, it's mad with me. My computer is mad with me. Hold on. Hold on. I was like, I'm just clicking on it's a regular link. Hold on, let me see here. Landlord series. Okay. Had to make sure. I was like, excuse me, computer. Okay. And also while I'm in here, a lot of people are saying, hey, yes, I get a lot of hood rappers, but they're very professional.
They
So
are. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's you, and it's a thing, and you have to respect people, man. That's why I say I had to remove that judgmental stuff, just because these guys come in with tattoos or what I mean, dreadlocks, smoking their weed or whatever the case may be. It's like, dude, you do all the same shit. Like, like you do all the same shit. You just operate on a professional level now, and they're trying to do the same thing the best way they know how, which
hmm
is doing rap music. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why they come to your house in this nice ass neighborhood, in this nice ass house, so they don't got to be in the hood fucking gang banging and shooting with nobody. They feel safe here. That's why they spending money to come here and do this, so they can feel safe. And
hmm
go with this weak ass pressure, treating them like, you know what I'm saying? They niggas, like, you know what I mean? Like, but no, they young black men, just like how you were at some point, trying to figure this shit out.
So somebody said I just watched his interview on Earn Your Leisure today. So happy you have him on. Somebody said crypto. uh, Polo G just tried to rent my space on Friday. We said no because he was rolling a little too deep.
Yeah, Derek, I be on that too. Like, I have a limit, and the motherfucker still like, so I have a limit of, let's say, 8 people. A motherfucker still ask if they bring 16. Boy, did you read the instructions? No, you can't bring fucking 16 people to my house. Like, I live here. Like, no, you can't bring 16 people to my house. Like, what are you talking
I
about?
think I saw a video where you had a girl with dreadlocks like rapping on your couches. I was about to be like, she about to be Freddie Murphy stepping on the couch.
like sometimes people will try to get unruly in your space, and that's why. And this is why I love being on site because I get to like, you know what I mean,
Like,
a
hey,
lot of that shit quick.
yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like, no, we're not gonna do that.
Listen. So it says straight up, fam. What's up, fam? STR is a wave. Event space is definitely a game changer. She said, "Love that you're authentic CEO." And something I always tell people on my channel, I know because I've been in it for years now. I'm like, I like me. Your like is extra, baby. You know what I'm saying? My daddy used to say it all the time, like, I like me. You know what I mean? It just, or something he'd be wearing was off. My mom would be like, why you wearing that? He'd be like, I like it. That's what matters. And so a lot of times I want you to understand that people out here live in a front for people that don't even care about them. I almost bought a Porsche, let me tell you, and it was so ridiculous. I was I was like, people have been talking bad about me with this car because I have a paid off Ford Fiesta, right? And I was like, man, I'm about to roll out in a Porsche. I looked at myself, I said, are you about to get a Porsche? Because the internet talking bad about your car? Girl, if you go sit your goofy self down. I went and said, let me go sit my goofy self down. And but that's literally, and it's not even that. It's also too. I have family members be like, "You got all this money now, man. You got to go do stuff with it." You be like, "I do stuff with it. I travel, right?" And so I understand, even on my level, there's peer pressure for goofy stuff. I had to like literally look at myself like, if you don't walk up off this dealership. Um, somebody said, "I'm in Chicago. Yeah, don't take anything less than 10% cap rate."
Facts.
Yeah, I believe that. Dame Dash just 805. Get your money first. Yeah, he did just lose that. Rolling deep. He said, yeah, they tried rolling like 30 plus deep. I was like, nah, that's too much. Oh my God. Is that a rapper? Solo G is a rapper in y'all space. Polo G.
Yeah, he like he one of the top rappers right now. Every time he drop, he go #1.
That's the first thought. Y'all have to understand. My frugalness all these years, like I always tell people, I'm like, I pull up in that Ford Fiesta proudly because I'm like, do you know how many people just drop crazy money on cars? And I got that with the insurance check from my wreck truck.
I want to go.
Man, get out of here.
I want to go to Tesla bad as hell. I want my Jag paid off. Like I said, I've had it since I bought my first building. That was in 15. So yeah, it's just like ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like if something do go wrong with it, it's like, all right, cool. Would you rather pay shit $2,000 for a repair or go spend $50,000, $60,000 in a new car? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, plus interest. Like, that's my interest. You know, if you take on a note, like, so it just really like depends on like, all right, cool, what you really trying to do. Then when you think about it, you like, you know what, yeah, I ain't really trying to come off this money like that. Let me stop playing.
Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, what people don't understand is like that insurance check covered every bit of that. They couldn't tell me nothing that day. I was like, they were like, you don't want another pickup truck? Nope. Nope. Give me this car. Now I do have a Jeep, and I am trying to get a Tesla because like I'm in Austin. It's Teslas everywhere. You already know.
I bet.
Free car it really is. So so what are some of the future goals you're looking? Because I've been seeing you fly. You saw Henry in Arkansas. You've been traveling. You went to Houston for your birthday. Uh, what are some of the things you think you're gonna come into like in the next 2-3 years? What's your game plan?
Right now, I'm currently working on trying to get some flips under my belt so I can generate some more capital to buy some more buy and holds.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to keep on traveling and speaking. I want to become more polished at that so I can really do more public speaking. The podcast stuff's cool, but I want to do features where I can actually like start going out to colleges and different events and stuff like that and getting paid to do these things. Because I know I have a real story that people latch on to, like relatable personality. And if I could just like polish a couple of things and just like get my speech in order and just certain things that I need to like get right, there's a real big bag out here for me. You know what I mean? I just gotta like lock in and get to it. But right now, just getting more real estate plays under my belt, creating more content, adding value to people, and just impressing the issue with what I'm doing because the stuff that I've been doing has been working. I've been getting phenomenal results. And yeah, just being patient and doing what I'm supposed to do. But over the next 5 years or so, that's what the play is to eventually, you know what I mean, get these books out, get more content out, and start doing public speaking.
Got you. You ever read Gary Keller's book Shift?
Mm-mm.
It talks about, the market, how real estate goes. And I was telling people, I keep telling people, I'm like, when you meet real estate investors, they invest, flip, and make money whether the market's up or down.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like they just do.
out here, yeah, it's always opportunities out here. You just got to understand when and where to buy at. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not looking to buy on retail right now. I'm not on
Mhm.
Red. I'm not on Zillow. You know what I mean? If I am, I'm looking to see how much properties are selling for so I can get comps. But outside of that, I'm driving for dollars, like knocking on doors, trying to like see who owns the property with the busted out windows and the high grass. Like who owns this? Because obviously they don't want it. So maybe if I could get it off their hands, I could help them out of a bad situation and that can help me get into a good situation. You know what I mean? So it just all depends on like if you understand what's going on and if you just understand real estate in general, because at the end of the day, there's always a play out here. And even now, like when it's extremely difficult to find properties because there's no inventory, you can find a play. It's just gonna be a little bit harder.
Yeah. There's what I told people. They're like, "Well, is wholesaling dead?" I'm like, "Wholesaling is not dead in a very expensive market. What happens is there's always gonna be a hoarder somewhere. There's always gonna be an inherited property. There's always gonna be somebody who like, man, I just can't like just quickest answer, get it done today, kind of thing. So there'll always be opportunities for off market deals. Just it depends on the terms, right?
I just did a wholesale deal. I just closed on a wholesale deal today. Um, just waiting on my check to come in the mail. They next day aired it, and then I'm also completing a wholesale flip with Henry here in Arkansas, probably in
Arkansas,
the next couple of weeks.
Arkansas.
Yeah, so that's been my thing. Like I'm not really like putting any money into the properties and fixing them up. It's just the market been so hot. You can just like pop them off for 10, 15, 20 grand real quick and keep it moving.
Hmm.
Why not get that money real fast and keep moving instead of, dealing with the headache of contractors and holding the property for 6 months, paying a loan back and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm only focused on new construction right now, on
Yeah.
land acquisition because I had all those. I still have them in Detroit, and I was like, okay, you want to put 60K in repairing this house, and I'm only gonna get this much rent, baby. For 70K, I can go build. I can go get a land lot and start building a whole house, a brand new with no walls, no issues. You know what I mean? And the South is just where we at right now. So there's a lot of whole nother conversation we can have on that. But someone asked, do you prefer in Chicago, Section 8 or traditional pay?
I've always had traditional paying tenants. I've actually never had a Section 8 paying tenant. Not that I'm opposed to it, but
Hmm.
all my tenants have always been traditional. Just the areas that I buy in aren't typically Section 8 tenants. So I have property in like the Bucktown Wicker Park area, and I also have property in an area called Forest Park, which is right next to Oak Park, maybe like a 10 minutes, 15 minutes from downtown, really nice suburb. So the areas that I own in don't typically like require me to take Section 8. Most times people are professionals, families, you know what I mean, working, just getting out of college, so they got like good careers and stuff like that.
Okay, I like it. I like it. I do like the videos where you be walking the dogs. I'd be like, okay, I'll invest in somewhere like that. Now, I had one guest on, and she inherited a property in Inglewood, and her husband was like, "Let me tell you, okay, we got this house, and we can live for free." You know what I'm saying? So like, she like, where is it at? So then, of course, it's in Inglewood, but now she's been there for years. Her daughter's active Valerie and stuff like that. But she like they bought another piece of property, like the landlord stuff y'all have going on there in Chicago,
Yeah,
to build something else. And I was like, see, you wouldn't have had that opportunity if you didn't go in that free house.
yeah.
But Inglewood, the song in Inglewood up to no good, but well, if they meant Chicago. um, yeah, John, no Porsche. I was gonna be like, I was gonna be cutting up. I'll be like, Big Shirley got a Porsche. That's right, I'm in that thing. No. Thank you, Other Z, for the $20 super chat. He is the sponsor of the show. He gave the first super chat, so he's the sponsor of the show today. You put a question in there if you want to. You didn't put any words in it. So thank you for the $20 super chat. Someone said they just bought your book. That's so nice of you, Tiffany.
Appreciate you.
She said always network is everything. Somebody asked, are you cash buying I guess the property you talk about, I guess in Arkansas or whatever.
So in the Arkansas, no, Henry do his loans 100% financed by the bank. I just worked out a situation with him. where I
Mm-hmm.
get a percentage of the deals in me and his situation. And then with mine, I'm gonna do hard money loans where I do like 20% down and they
Mm-hmm.
finance 80% of the purchase price and 100% of the rental.
Mm-hmm. That's key word there. That 100% of that rental repair.
Yeah.
You have to have more fishing lines in the pond. This is true. Okay. He said, "Oh yeah, you got them nice areas." People from Chicago here.
Yeah.
Eight- 80% of my apartment building is Section 8 during this pandemic. I was good in Calumet City, Illinois. Am
Cal-
I saying?
Calumet City, Illinois. Yeah, that's
Okay.
dope. Beyond that's hard. Like, cause that's why I say I'm not opposed to Section 8. I just
Hmm.
never had to. But for somebody like you who just like guaranteed the rent, like you good. Like some
Hmm.
people they look at it like the bad side of Section 8, but like
Yeah.
y'all the good side of Section 8 where you guaranteed your money is certain things you ain't gotta worry about. People can't really tear up your house because if you report them, they could lose their Section 8. So it's a lot of stuff that people just really don't understand when it comes to Section 8. I just think Section 8 has a reputation based on it, like helping black people, you know what I mean, who aren't necessarily in the best positions. But outside of that, I'm not opposed to it. Like I said, I just never had to do it personally.
Got you. Let me see. I did a foreclosure show a couple days ago where people were like, "Oh, there's foreclosures everywhere," and I'm like, "Not really. In this market, you only way you foreclose if you a bird brain. You can go ahead and just sell your house and get your equity and keep it pushing."
Yeah.
Um, what are some things you'd like to leave our audience with? Because we're about the 46-minute mark. I don't want to keep you all night long. I know you out there in Chicago living your best life.
Man, I'm chilling. It's raining. I just smoked on the high, like I'm really chilling. So we can talk. I got to talk.
um, if you had to do like a workshop or a training of people, what would be your workshop? What would it be on? Somebody say, "Hey man, I'm going this summer to Andre's workshop." What we teaching? What you teach them in there?
More than anything, probably mindset
Hmm.
because I think that's like the first step to all of this stuff. Like getting your mind right. Which is why I created my brand, Mindset Matters. That's I got on one of my hats right now.
Hmm.
Books are the keys. And I think just mindset is going to be the first step to any and everything. Like if you decide you're going to go work out, you got to get your mind right because you know what I mean. You will quit otherwise. Once you start feeling that pain, once you start getting uncomfortable, you're like, oh man, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this. But the whole time, if you got it in your mind already that you're going to do something, and you know what I mean, you got a positive outlook on things, and you know what I mean,
Hmm.
you move a certain type of way, it's going to show in your actions as well. So I would teach mindset first and foremost, and then after that, I would probably start teaching how to get started, and that would be like I say, building your credit, and you know what I mean, and doing those kind of things like outside of like getting a job and steady income and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I would start with the basics because most people what they do is they try to skip right into the getting the money part.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying, but nobody really wants to like tackle and really like take care of like the foundation that needs to be laid first. And I think that's a lot of times comes with people being on the internet because the internet puts all of this like
It's microwave.
yeah, they put a lot of glitz and glamour in front of people, and they like you know what I mean, sauce you up to make you think like, oh man, I can have this too, or this is gonna be my lifestyle. But they never show you the bad stuff that comes along with the lifestyle. Like I have a series called Landlord Life, where pretty much essentially I'm showing all the bad things that I deal with as a landlord. Like for 40 episodes of this shit, 3 seasons, so
Hmm.
a lot of bad shit that I deal with, you know. And I think at the end of the day that is what's like gonna be the thing that's most important, you know.
Right. We try to talk about mindset on here and the abundance vortex and like what people don't understand is if you are holding on so tight to something, right? Because you just think I ain't got another thing to do, I can't. Whether it's people, a job, or whatever, you will lose it. And I want people to be more abundance mindset wise. That there's a million ways to make money. There's
Mhm.
a million ways to turn left or right in this place.
Mhm.
You're not stuck in any position. This isn't a chess game. Like this is a checkers game. We can go all over this bad boy.
Yeah.
And so that's why I keep trying to interview uh, men and frankly people that look like me that'll do anything, right? That just kind of they're free to do anything. They're free to invest. It's really just a numbers game.
Yeah.
There's something I've been telling people a lot. I'm like, if you got 20K, you can do a lot with 20K. I meet people all the time who are in the little Facebook groups, and they're like, "I got Navy Federal only gave me a $20,000 credit card, y'all. What can I do with it?" I'm like, "A lot.
Leverage it.
There's so much you can do with it." Quincy Lockett says Section 8 is the only way you get your rent in Calumet City. God bless some Southern landlords. Oh wow.
You might be right.
Hank Hill said, "I ain't taking Section 8 again." He said, "What? This is one of the realest interviews. Definitely have to follow his channel. Yes, his is Renaissance 125. I will make sure to go back and put his stuff in the descriptions. Uh, literally, yeah. There's a million ways to make money. Pick something and go. It really is.
But with that though, like, so another thing, that's what I'm saying. Like, just pick one thing at a time, though.
Yeah.
Like a lot
Yes.
of you get caught up with the internet shit, where like, and I said this on the Rants and Gems podcast. Like, you think you got $5,000, you finna go do real estate, start a trucking company and a clothing line. Like, if you don't go sit,
And trucking too at the same
sit your ass down, like,
time.
with that little 5 bands, you finna run out of that money before you
Oh.
get LLC started. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like be serious about what you're doing and what your goals are. Like, do one thing at a time. Create a system for that one thing. Make sure that will generate some income. Then move on to the second thing, using that income and the other income that you may have. You know what I mean? To fund your second project, and you keep on doing it. Like, don't go out here just thinking that you can just, like, you know what I'm saying, jump right into some shit and with little bit of nothing. Like, it just don't make sense to be that.
Sorry, listen. I had the meme with the Will Slap thing where it's like getting into trucking with no money, no cash, no nothing. I'm like, these are cash intensive businesses.
Yeah, man.
So is real estate. Like, you know, a lot of people be living off the rental payments, right? But then if the AC go out, do you got it on reserve? If the roof got a hole,
Earn Your Leisure just posted $33,000 plumbing issue I had to deal with. I just had a $33,000 plumbing issue. Kicking my ass, still kicking my ass to this day.
That's crazy.
I'm paying it off though. You know, that's why I say you like. And this is why it pays to be financially literate, because the average person, they would have said you got to pay $33,000. They would have ended up having to put it on a credit card, right? And they would have had to put it on a credit card where they probably would have had to pay highest interest on it, etc. Now me, I know that, you know, my credit, I can use it as leverage. So what I did was I applied for a new credit card with the, you know what I mean, $30,000+ limit on it. They gave me interest free for 15 months. So I paid that, you know what I mean, bill with the credit card, and I just been chipping away at it monthly. And I've also been letting the rent payments from the property chip away at it too. So that way I'm not eating the whole thing. You know what I mean? So instead of me having to pay that big sum out directly, I chip away at it for 15 months. Then whatever left over after that 15 months, I can either transfer it over to another credit card by doing the transfer balance and do the whole thing again, interest free for however long until it's paid off. Or I can lump sum if I have. It just, you know, it gives you options if you have credit. And that's what we was talking about earlier when we were saying, just like people in our community, they're taught to run away from these things, but these are the tricks of the trade to how you keep going and how you stay afloat when you don't have the money right then and right there. Use your credit to leverage to stay afloat without getting charged all that interest and without giving away all that extra money.
Yeah. Here in Texas, they're big on if you start, and anybody in my Middleman and Millions class knows this, there are finance companies when you go to bid a project at somebody's house. Hey, you ain't got it. Hey, here's a finance company that'll help pay this construction bill. You know what I'm saying? And that's very popular. So I'm surprised they ain't go 33,000. Hey, we got this finance company for you.
They tried to finance.
Yeah.
They tried to finance me, but I'm like, you know what? I have an interest-free credit card. I'm cool.
Yeah. So that's
financing with like 10% interest. I'm like, I'm straight.
You know how many people had to take that deal?
Yeah. A
lot of people had to take that deal. Okay, so doing new construction in Temple, Salado, and in Tampa. In the Tampa's on Asterisk.
What you selling, or you buying like building and holding?
New construction, like so the one here in Temple, it's gonna be a hold. I'm gonna build a duplex there because the whole street's full of duplexes, and the guy ain't building no more. You know, he just ain't doing that with the rest of the land. So I'm just gonna build what's in line with the rest of the street, and then in Tampa it'll be a build and sell because we got to use hard money on it. So I'm be like, hurry up, put them nails in, let's go. Do I need to lift these center blocks? Shit, I'll get my gloves on. It's hard money, y'all. Let's go.
That's funny.
uh, noticed in Northwest Indiana. Thanks. So yeah, some of the stuff I'm seeing. Do you remember that show on HGTV where they did the apartments? The apartments were on the bottom. Like they would be trying to come and fix the person's downstairs apartment so they'd have rental income.
I'm trying to think. It
You got
sounds
the
familiar.
white dude with the hair. His hair was a little bit long. But basically he would always be in Chicago or he'd be in New York. He'd always be in Chicago, New York, trying to fix somebody's basement apartment.
I'm trying to think who you're talking about.
You need to get them to follow you for one show for that. If you get another bad one, be like, I just need to fix this bottle. Listen, HGTV be pitching. We'll talk about it offline, but they be pitching hard. They be like, hey, what you doing? Be like, no, I'm not about to be no character on TV. But
Send them my way. They love my black ass.
I know, because the brothers up there in Chicago, what's their name? I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I'm sorry.
I'm Anton and what's his name?
Yeah, they're twins that did a HGTV show.
Firefighter guys, the Property Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Actual Property Brothers, not the other brothers, the twins.
Yeah.
So trying to think what else did I have for you because you be out here. Wow, I forgot my questions today because I took a nap. If somebody wanted to come in, they're like, hey man, I heard about Inglewood being super cheap. I can get stuff for 40, 50. That's no longer around, is it? It's at like 100 now, ain't it?
You could probably still get stuff in Inglewood for $50,000, $60,000. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta know where you at though. Like you just
you about to get hit over the back of your head though. No.
Not even just that, because you handling your business or whatever, but you got to know that there's a chance you're gonna have to deal with. You know what I mean? Break-ins, all that
stuff. Yeah.
So,
because Dog's security system is big over there where y'all is too.
Yeah, that's huge. That's what you gotta get that, or else you gonna get your pipes stalled. Furnaces and shit took.
You're like, I ain't even got no copper in here. Y'all calm down. Okay. Yeah, y'all on this Section 8 convo in the comments crazy. Section 8 is good. You just gotta have tight leases. I've had to rewrite a few after tenants leaving. The good part is the landlord has some leverage as they don't want to lose their subsidiarity voucher.
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, so that's the good thing about it. Like, they know that if they mess up your apartment and you report them, they could lose their voucher. So a lot of times you really gonna end up getting a good tenant unless it's just somebody who just really don't give a fuck.
Got you. Since I remember that show. Yeah, y'all know I'm talking about that show. It's like Basement Apartments. But what are some things you're hoping for Chicago as far as, let's just say it, keeping it authentic as it is now or keeping it as brown as it is now? What are some things culturally you're thinking you want to keep for Chicago?
I love Chicago how it is. You know what I mean? Like the media portray it to be a certain type of way. Like I'm here every day. I live here. It ain't what they make it seem like. Like I say, it's the same like in every city. You got it in concentrated areas. You know what I'm saying? And Chicago was voted what I think the most beautiful city in the world at some point. Like
yeah, it did
over the last 2 years, and that's for a reason. Like you gotta come here, and you gotta like not be trying to go to O Block and shit. You gotta really, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta really come and enjoy the city. You gotta come to the north side. You gotta go to the lakefront. You gotta go to Navy Pier. You gotta go downtown to the Magnificent Mile. You gotta go to see the Bean, like, you know what I mean? You got to go to the museums. You got to just walk and check out the architecture. Go to the south side, to the, you know what I mean? To the museums, like to the black museums. Like it's just go see the mosque. Like, you know what I mean? The main Muslim mosque is on the south side, like the biggest one. Man, our city is amazing. Like I said, but you just gotta like get away from like rap music and shit that you hear. And the stuff that you hear on the news, and really come and explore and see what's to the city, and you will find it to be like beautiful. And then too, our food is good as fuck too.
Y'all have every year I come in August is when y'all have that food taste of the
It's Chicago.
yeah. And my friends are like, why you always go at the same time? I'm like, first of all, my grandpa he don't even ask us to come in the wintertime. Because every time we be like, oh my God, we dying. My legs, my arms, like like every year our mom would do a kind of a summer transfer to grandparents. And one year she was so tired of driving, she stopped in Gary, Indiana. They were like, don't stop there. She'd be like, look, I done drove all the way from North Carolina. I'm tired. Y'all better come get us. But yeah, people are saying they love downtown Chicago in the chat. So Catch It Kim said the HGTV show was Rental Income with Scott McCreery. Thank you so much. I know I wasn't crazy, but he was always in Chicago all the time. I was like, that could be a good one.
We got a lot of rentals here, so I can see how that makes sense.
Zach C, man, listen, Zach, this is a whole consult question. I'm gonna have to be on the super chat. Okay. I purchased my home last year. Should I cash out refinance and go from 30th Street to 50th? Take that money and put it down on the multi-unit. Okay, help us out here in the description because you might have to rewrite that. Do you know what you're talking about? The street, 30th Street. Is y'all got a 30th Street?
I have no clue what that even.
Yeah, Zach, rewrite that, boo. Help us out here. Rewrite that. Thank you, John. Yeah, HD property income about adding rental space. Yes, they would always have a basement apartment they didn't use or something they never fixed, and they would be in Chicago and they'd be like, "Oh, this is so spacious." You know what I mean? It was always some foreigner who moved or somebody from New York who moved to Chicago and was like, "We're trying to make the most out of our living here in Chicago." I'd be like, "What?" Oh, he said, should I cash out, reach out, and go from a 30-year to a 50-year? Man, hell no.
If they got those,
If they got a 50-year, somebody ought to go to jail for that. That's some till you die and then
that's
some.
like, bro, like
They
that's
do have 40-year, but I didn't know they had a 50-year.
that's
If
like
you have to get a 50-year, you just can't afford it. That's just what it is. I would not trust nothing talking about 50 years.
I don't want to pay for shit for 50 years. The fuck?
Yeah. I mean, if y'all really break down and you look at how much interest you pay,
That's
anything past 15 years, it start making you mad.
yeah. So like I tell people all the time. This is why when I bought with NACA, I love the fact that I can pay my interest down up front because over the life of the loan, over 30 years, man, that shit is gonna save me hundreds of thousands of dollars. Mind you, there was a 3.5% interest rate on a property that cost $879,000. Like that, over 30 years, the property would have ended up costing $2 million. You know what I'm saying? That's like when interest just tacked on. My first property was 360 grand. I bought that interest rate down at 3.5%. That property would have ended up being shit. $700,000, $800,000. Like, but most of the payment would have been interest though. And it's just like, why the fuck am I paying all this extra money when I don't have to? And this is why we have to learn these financial tips and tricks because that's what they get us at by paying all that extra money and interest and fees and all of this shit that we sign up for and don't really know about.
Y'all know how I used to love doing this. I'm gonna do it real quick while we got him here on the line in the last couple minutes. So I love going on realtor.com because people be like, "What's the prices out somewhere?" You know. And so this is Chicago real estate right now. It stands 13,700 homes for sale. Clearly, this is a multi-unit, 8 bed, 7 bath, 275. That's crazy.
That's probably in Inglewood.
This right here.
Gotta be in Inglewood for that price.
Yeah, this one's $459 for a 5 bedroom, 5 bath.
That look like a 2 unit.
It look nice.
That's a brownstone. That might be on the south side, in like Bronzeville.
Oh, honey, they really did it on this one. Yes, yes. Y'all think I'll be listen? I find a reason to be in the city. Okay, anyway, oh wait, let me put my filters on. Y'all know how we did this. We used to do this all the time on my channel. Let's take away the pendant and contingent. Let's take them away. Let's go ahead and get our multifamily property. Multifamily. And done. Let's see what we give us. Now, out of that 13,000, y'all, they got 971 that fit that criteria.
What criteria?
Multifamily and hide all the pendant and contingent. Woo! Okay, so we just went to lowest price.
The ones I'm looking Well, right there.
Say what?
Look where they at though.
I know. Now we're gonna go skip past this 30. We keep rolling up. Yeah, we're gonna keep rolling. Keep rolling. I don't like no wood frame. I'd rather it be brick.
Some of the ones
I
you
mean,
want. Though.
what, the wood?
60 and 70, 40 and
Yeah.
50,000. Anything under 100 is a good right now.
Sheesh. Okay. Even that looks half decent. Oh, look at all that mold. My goal when I do this is to get the lowest that's move-in ready. And y'all see I'm still scrolling, right? I'm still scrolling. That back of that house. Holy moly. I just like doing this because I be when somebody's on that's from there, they know. This is 55 Loomis Boulevard, South Loomis. Oh, it's a gut. Nothing in there. Straight gutted.
Yeah, so you paying for some of that job that's done already.
All right, y'all. What do y'all think? I'm gonna have to get to 150 before I get something. What y'all think in the chat? Oh, look at that. A color though.
One,
Right.
even still, like you still gonna be like you still in like Inglewood and Chatham.
Uh-huh. So what's the number you got to get to that get you to a safe spot? Huh?
But
Yeah.
depends on what you consider safe.
Well, listen, I only want the car broken in once a year.
You might want to look like Maywood or something like that then instead of Inglewood.
I'm gonna go a couple pages, see if I get it up there. What price point we at now?
So,
Nah, I mean I literally do it by price, and then I keep working up till I get to mostly brick homes. But we can do the map. If you look at the map here, it does like this. Boom. That's the map. Can you see the map?
yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So this is Oak Park right here.
Yeah, so that's what my first property is out there in that area.
Okay.
And those properties out there expensive as fuck. Even like the ran down shits.
This Maywood right here.
I say Maywood right next to Oak Park, so you might be able to find decent prices out there.
289, 250.
But those probably fixed up already.
249. I always like the brick, y'all. You know I am about the brick. Who these realtors taking these terrible photos? Terrible. Fire your realtor. I always do this just to show people like comparisons of different cities, what we think is good, what we think is bad, what we think is available. Is that a whole store?
It's expensive as fuck up here.
That's bananas. So y'all saw as we were scrolling through the pages, I had to get up to like 188. Let me just do the price like this real quick.
Even then, 188, there ain't no good neighborhoods.
Okay, let me do 280 then.
Yeah, that's now you know what I'm saying?
Now we not stabbed. Let's see what's going on.
Now you time some of these.
Oh, I'm gonna do 50. Get it. Boom. Okay. It ought to reset. So 250 and up, 687 homes. That's a lot of brick right there.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're gonna get a lot more stuff available. But do you see the prices on them though? 250 for that shit is ran down. I come to Texas with 250,000 and go crazy.
Depends. Any edges of that anywhere in Dallas, almost like what's so crazy here in Austin, because we have the inflated California New Yorker combination happening. They'd be like, "This house is 700,000." I'm like, "No, baby, I've been to Dallas. 700,000 gets me a mansion. You better get up out of here." I will build a whole house before I pay crazy price. Now, this is what I'm talking about. 269. I don't know about this side street.
Mike, why won't you look on the inside to watch what you finna get? Yeah. I'm motherfucker about 800 a month. That bitch a 3-bedroom. You gonna get $800 a month for that motherfucker.
It's looking like it need a little. It's about
Hey,
time for an update.
They gonna try to paint the kitchen gray and put them little ass cabinets in there.
What is this shit? Why they got mirrors up here?
Terrible. That's what I'm saying. Like, stop. You don't want to pay for that.
This is the corner where it's at. It's a little empty over here. I wonder if some of this is available.
So you ain't still at 250. You ain't looking in the greatest areas. That's just to get you a little safer than where you were.
I'm just.
I just got you out of where you know that jam you put yourself in.
They be like, "How you get stabbed, girl? I bought a house over here, and you got me."
That's what I'm saying. You looking in decent places now, like a little more safe.
Boy, these kitchens and these bathrooms. What y'all doing? So yeah, I do this all. I used to do this all the time to show my audience because people be like, "What can you get for $50,000?" I'm like, "I'm gonna show you." So for move-in ready looks like and nice, I'm gonna have to get up in the 300, 400. These are decent. These can be rented out, but they're looking like they need an update.
I'm trying to tell you.
We learn something new every day. Listen.
Listen, how you really know what's going on? Go into the filter and go into the sold property. That's how you know, because that's what people's actually buying and have bought. So that'll give you a better gauge. Recently sold.
Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna switch this to recently sold, everybody. Done. Sold. Got some 250s over here, 250.
Yeah, so that's the west side. It's looking like 2900 West 40. If that's south, Central Park, that's out west.
Mm-hmm. Harding Avenue.
But I want you to look at the inside of some of these though, because 99% of the time they're not going to be renovated at 250. Not in Chicago.
If it'll let me see. Some of these take the photos down afterwards, but we about to see. Internet is just so disrespectful today. No, I ain't got no inside pictures, but I wonder what this lot. Who owned this lot? We just random parking in this lot right here.
I want to your arm for it.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Lots in Chicago ain't cheap at all.
I wouldn't even doubt it. Go back.
And especially the ones that's owned by the city, because there'll be a whole bunch of hoops you're gonna have to jump through.
Y'all got to get that mob up out of there.
Yeah, that's all we got in our political offices, straight mobsters.
I don't know how y'all got that little black lady up there. Somebody do her hair. I got her looking rough up there. So yeah, this is what I got showing for 250. That's sold plus.
These are all like
need help.
West side and not too bad areas out south for 250.
It's actually giving me hope. They don't look as bad as on the outside. Keyword.
Yeah, in Chicago, we got a lot of brick, Ericka. Like both of my properties are brick.
So
yeah, we got a ton of brick properties here.
Oh, y'all been in here wilding in the comments. Hold on. They're talking about, yeah, the total interest over the term mortgage will be high. 50-year mortgage, that's just renting at some point. So your car may be broken in wood and Maywood. It may be. Go to anything with the date on the end. Stay away from anything with wood. Yeah, I feel you. With a Dale on the end, DAL. Okay, I see what you're saying. Somebody said, trust in God to pay my 30-year mortgage in less than 10 years. Hey, you could do it. Gotta have a plan. I usually search by school districts, grade 7th plus, then zoom out for better property. Okay. Okay, I feel you. Our taxes are our biggest problem in Illinois. Listen, I think Rashada Scott took us on her bus tour, and she was somewhere, and she was like, yeah, the property tax on this one is $14,000 a year. We were somewhere, and I was like, 14,000?
I think the property tax on my building in the suburbs in Forest Park is about $10,000, $12,000.
I was like, just one tenant renting out of this 3 units paying for the taxes. That's like me and Chicago is in this together.
I think my taxes might be more than my principal at this point.
That's crazy. It's crazy to me. One thing about Illinois is I don't pay property tax for my home because I'm a disabled vet. Congratulations, John. John Ditzka's in there. He said, so damn, no Inglewood? Is it safe? Listen, anywhere named Inglewood, y'all, it's up to no good. Tupac told us, okay? And I don't even listen to rap music like that. Somebody said, I'm moving out of the south side of Chicago. They tried to carjack my girl. No, Derek, did they do you like that? The suburbs of Chicago is your best bet for safety. Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
that's exactly what I was trying to say.
Somebody said, might as well come to Detroit. I'm just saying, nah. I mean, that's the thing. People be in these Midwest towns like, I need the small, the cheap. Everything cheap got a reason for it being cheap. Yeah, y'all in here wilding. Cook County property taxes. They said in Japan they got 100-year mortgages. Listen, come on now. Got your grandchildren paying the mortgage. This is crazy.
Yeah, indeed.
So yeah. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. I ain't gonna keep you all night. Tell us, leave us with some parting words where they can find you on this man's internet.
I am at Renaissance 125, as you can see right here in parentheses across all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. That's who I am, where I am. I am really producing content. I have a ton of content that I've already produced. If you go to my YouTube channel or my Instagram channel, I have courses, I have merch, I have a book, and my book is actually free. So if you're interested in my book, Renaissance's 5-Step Guide on Getting Your Shit Together, go get that. The only thing you're responsible to pay for is the shipping. And yeah, man.
I love it. Listen, I expect to see you all summer running around doing stuff. I am very proud of you. I'm glad you and Henry and all y'all hooked up to that stage event with Todd Billy with your pictures on the back of it. Every time I see Todd Billy daggone videos with him and his face behind him, I'm like, y'all, wow.
I'm the only person who didn't take mine home. I left mine. I was just like thinking I'm gonna be arrogant. Like, no, I don't want to be arrogant and just walk around. Everybody else like, shit, watch this. Everybody, Henry, George, mine, everybody got their shit at home in their office. Like, anytime I'm on a call with them, that's all you see in the background.
Is it a picture? I'd be like I can't sit in this office looking at you the whole time. I can't want to do. But you should have took it. It's a collector item.
I definitely should have took it. I'm bogus. My shit's still in Henry garage.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, you can always go back and get it for an event or something. You put it up.
Yeah.
At this point, somebody said Detroit, East Gary, Indiana. I'm good. Oh, damn. Okay, y'all, chill out, Midwest fight in the comments. Yeah, the taxes is what scares me for Chicago.
I mean, the property tax in Chicago ain't that bad. It's like when you start getting in them suburbs, like you say, Maywood and stuff like that, where these properties ain't really that, but you got to pay all these taxes on them. That's what kick your ass.
For sure. So listen, we'll see you again. Hopefully, I'll either cross paths with you. We'll talk off camera. But anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka from the Classy Climb blog. Thank you for coming in here on a Thursday, enjoying your space. And just hold a second while I click off.